So, good afternoon, friends. How are you all? Okay, amazing. So, my dear friends, today we are on to Unit 2 of Chapter 3. We are on to Unit 2 of Chapter 3, the name of which is Theory of Cost. Please remember that theory of production and theory of cost are quite interlinked. So, every time you study theory of cost, before that study theory of production. Because when we discuss this chapter in the course of discussion, you will discover that all my production fundas, all the laws like law of variable proportion, laws of returns to scale, all those things that you studied under production are applied in cost, are used in cost, because we will study different types of cost curves. So reason behind the shape, why some cost curve is U-shaped, reason behind the shape of cost curve are hidden in production chapter. Reason behind the shape of cost curves is hidden in production chapter. So my dear friends, that way the topic becomes absolutely important or necessary. All right, you must have the knowledge of this. Okay, so before we finish it off, let's start our discussion. Okay, let's go. So what are covered in this chapter? Number one, we will study different cost concepts. We will study what are cost functions. Okay, our primary discussion will be on different types of cost. Okay, then we will study short run cost, long run cost, and finally economies and diseconomies of scale. So broadly speaking, this topic is containing only 5 topics which I have mentioned right now. All right, please remember we are discussing theory of cost, which is quite linked to theory of production. I will repeat, this topic theory of cost is quite linked to theory of production. So you have to have a sound knowledge of the same before you can begin. Okay, so let's go about it, friends. Now, my dear friends, as our chapter begins from understanding different types of costs. Okay, understanding different types of costs. So why delay? Let's begin our game. So different types of costs. Okay, let's go about it. Very easy concept. I will give examples wherever necessary. Okay, don't worry. See, when we talk about types of costs, number one, accounting and economic cost. Even before accounting and economic cost, try to pay attention. Even before accounting and economic cost, try to pay attention. I am explaining you something called explicit cost. I'm explaining you something called explicit cost. Okay, pay attention everyone. Explicit cost and implicit cost. First, try to understand this. What is explicit cost? My dear friends, suppose you have a chips factory. Okay, you buy some raw materials, you pay your staff some salaries. You buy some raw materials, you pay your staff some salaries. Yes, sir, we do that. You buy some raw material, you pay your staff some salary. In all these cases, you have to pay the amount. You have had actual outflow. You have to actually pay the amount of money. Yes or no? Yes, sir. That is explicit or accounting cost or outlay cost. Acha. So you are telling outlay cost, accounting cost are the same. Yes. These are the costs that result in actual cash outflow. Even they are also called explicit cost. Write down the word. Explicit cost, accounting cost, and outlay cost are all the same. Explicit, accounting, and outlay cost are all the same. They result in actual cash outflow. Whenever there is an expense, when you have to pay the money, that is explicit cost or accounting cost or outlay cost. Staff salary, rent of a godown, rent of a factory, electricity bill, all this you have to actually pay. And that's what explicit accounting and outlay cost tells us. I hope it's crystal clear, friends. Yes, sir, very simple. So the cost that result in actual outflow, actual cash outflow, is called outlay cost or accounting cost or explicit cost. They are called accounting cost because these costs are only recorded in books of accounts. In accountancy, when you are studying accountancy right now in foundation, you will see you are recording only those expenses or only those costs which result in actual cash outflow. You pay it today or you pay it later, that is a different matter altogether. But actually you will have to pay. And hence they are called accounting costs because they are recorded in the books of accounts. And why they are recorded in the books of accounts? Because they result in actual cash outflow. Understood, not understood, friends? Understood, not understood, friends? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We understood. So that, my dear friends, is called accounting cost, explicit cost, or outlay cost. Now, sir, what is implicit cost? Could you tell us what is implicit cost? Okay, I'll tell you what implicit cost is. Pay attention to this example. Okay, pay attention. Here is Mr. Chandu. He completed his graduation. Let's say he did BCom. Okay. Now, Mr. Chintu has two houses. How many houses? Two houses. One where Mr. Chintu stays, another is a spare house with Mr. Chintu. Okay. He is a businessman. Okay. Now, he has decided that he will do business in his second house. Instead of taking a house, he will do business in his own house. Okay. All right. That's all right. Now pay attention. Now pay attention. When Mr. Chintu has to pay, when Mr. Chintu has to do a business, what Mr. Chintu decided that out of the two houses, Mr. Chintu will be using one of the houses. Out of the two houses, Mr. Chintu will be using one of the houses for business purposes. One of the houses, one of the house for, yes, for business purposes. Mr. Chintu has decided that Mr. Chintu will be using one of the house for business purposes. That's easy, sir. Very easy. Now, guys, pay attention. If Mr. Chintu would have not used the house for business purposes, Mr. Chintu could have gotten rent on that. He could have given it on rent, the other house, and he could have earned money from it. But Mr. Chintu, because Mr. Chintu gave this house on rent, did money come in? No. Mr. Chintu said no to money. Why? Because he told that, okay, I will be doing business on this house, so I will not give it on rent. In this way, the rental income that could have come, why it could have come? Because Mr. Chintu was owner of the house. That rental income is sacrificed. That is called implicit cost. That is called implicit cost. Implicit cost is like a cost. Implicit cost is like a cost, but it doesn't result in an actual outflow. It is a cost because the money that would have come in is not coming in. So yes, it is definitely a cost, but is it resulting in any kind of actual outflow? It's not. And that's what implicit cost is all about. That's what implicit cost is all about. So my dear friends, there are two things here. Number one, explicit cost. Number two, implicit cost. Explicit cost is when you have to pay for the business actually. For example, Mr. Chintu has hired some staff, and so staff salary, raw material cost has to be incurred by Mr. Chintu. So this staff salary that is going on, or the, let's say, the raw material cost that is being incurred, the staff salary that is being given, the raw material cost that is being given, all this stuff that is given, please remember, the staff salary, the raw material cost, etc., whatever is being given, when this is taking place, it is called explicit cost. It is called explicit cost. But remember, if money could have come in, but money is not coming in, that is implicit cost. That is implicit cost. Like in the case of rental income. So implicit cost is also called, implicit cost is also defined as, please write it down, I'm dictating. Implicit cost is the imputed value. Implicit cost is the imputed value of inputs. Implicit cost is the imputed value of inputs owned by the firm. Implicit cost is the imputed value of inputs owned by the firm and used in own production unit. Implicit cost is the implicit value of inputs owned by the firm and used in own production unit. And used in own production unit. That, my dear friends, is implicit cost. Okay, sir. Understood, sir. So Basically, what has happened is that there was this person, Mr. Chintu, who had two houses, residence and business. But the other house that he had, he used it for business. So if he would have not used that house for business, he could have given it on rent, but and then there and could have earned rental income. But Mr. Chintu, by using the house, is sacrificing the rental income. My dear friends, when you own an asset and you sacrifice the income from that asset, why? Because you are using that asset. That sacrificed income on the asset owned is called implicit cost. That sacrificed income is called implicit cost. So now let me explain both of them in Hindi. Okay? अभी तक मैंने आपको दो कॉस्ट बताया है, एक एक्सप्लिसिट कॉस्ट और एक इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट. एक्सप्लिसिट कॉस्ट का मतलब होता है कोई भी ऐसा खर्चा जहां आपको सच में पैसे देने पड़ेंगे. एक्सप्लिसिट कॉस्ट को अकाउंटिंग कॉस्ट भी बोलते हैं, आउटले कॉस्ट भी बोलते हैं. आपने स्टाफ हायर किया, उसे सैलरी देनी पड़ेगी. आपने कोई जगह लिया, आपको रेंट देना पड़ेगा. अगर ऐसा होता है तो आपको जहां पैसे देने पड़ रहे हैं, आपकी चिप्स की कंपनी, आप आलू खरीद के लेकर आते हो, आपको पैसे देने पड़े, इन्हें एक्सप्लिसिट कॉस्ट बोलते हैं या अकाउंटिंग कॉस्ट बोलते हैं. अकाउंटिंग कॉस्ट इसलिए बोलते हैं बिकॉज इन्हें बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स में रिकॉर्ड किया जाता है. फिर सर इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट क्या होता है? इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट का मतलब है अगर आपके पास किसी चीज की ओनरशिप है, अब उसको आप रेंट पर देकर पैसे कमा सकते थे, बट आप क्योंकि डिसाइड करते हो कि आप खुद ही यूज करोगे अपने बिजनेस के लिए, तो आप उस चीज को रेंट पर नहीं दे पा रहे हो, तो वो जो आपका इनकम आता, रेंट आता, उसका सेक्रीफाइस को अपने इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट बोलते हैं. तो सिंपली स्पीकिंग, पैसे का न आना, पैसे का न आना भी तो पैसे का जाना होता है. पैसे का न आना भी तो पैसे का जाना होता है, because the money that could have come in is not coming in. So money not coming in is like money going out. That's implicit cost. Here actual outflow is not taking place, but there is a sacrifice. And why does this sacrifice occur? Because you are owning an asset. Such a cost is implicit cost. Is that clear, friends? Yes. But sir, you told us you will explain what is economic cost. Now it is very simple for me. Economic cost is nothing but, I told you the two costs now. Number one was explicit cost and number two was implicit cost. So my dear friends, you will be surprised to know economic cost is nothing but explicit cost plus implicit cost. Oh, that's right, sir. Yes, that's right. That's why I was explaining you all these things. Now see, here rental income could have been 4 lakh rupees, okay? And the cost of 3 lakh and 2 lakh on salary, 5 lakh. Now you see, this 5 lakh is this 5 lakh that you see was actually paid. So it is accounting cost, or it is explicit cost, or it is outlay cost, because it had actually to be given. But the rental income of 4 lakh sacrificed is the implicit cost. And now, if you add 5 lakh and 4 lakh, explicit and implicit, it becomes 9 lakh. That, my dear friends, is called economic cost. Economic cost is the sum total of explicit and implicit cost. Okay. Economic cost is nothing but the sum total of explicit and implicit cost. Acha, sir. Is that so, sir? Yes, my dear friends, that is so. So I believe all of you have understood accounting and economic cost. Yes or no, please? Accounting cost results in actual outflow. Economic cost do not result in actual outflow. Economic cost include both accounting cost and implicit cost. Is that clear? Yes. Everybody in the chat, write it down. Explicit cost plus implicit cost is equals to economic cost. Everybody write down in the chat. Explicit cost plus implicit cost equals to economic cost. In the chat, please. Yes, sir. Absolutely. All right. Great. Now, my lovely friends, we have discussed outlay cost already. The cost that result in actual outflow. The cost that result in actual outflow. That is outlay cost. So it's pretty easy that way, isn't it? Yes, sir. The cost that results in actual outflow is outlay cost. So that is very simple. Now, we talk about opportunity cost. We talk about opportunity cost. What does opportunity cost mean? My dear friends, opportunity cost means cost of next best alternative sacrifice. Cost of next best alternative sacrifice. I will explain with an example, but write it down. What is opportunity cost? cost of next best alternative sacrifice. What is opportunity cost? Cost of next best alternative sacrifice. Acha, is that so, sir? Yes, that is so, friends. Again, once again, what is opportunity cost? Cost of next best alternative sacrifice. Now let's have a discussion on the same. Let's try and understand the same. Okay. Acha, you might get the feeling that implicit cost and opportunity cost is the same. They are close but not the same. I will explain you why. But first, pay attention here. Now, what is opportunity cost? Now, my dear friends, you are attending this class organized by ICI. Okay, you are attending this class right now. Economics class is going on. Okay, and you are attending this class. Okay, number one. But if you would have not attended this class, maybe you would have gone to play somewhere, or maybe you would have slept. Let's say you would have slept. If you were not doing class now, you would have been sleeping. So the opportunity cost of doing the class that you are attending today is the sleep that you had to sacrifice. So opportunity cost is the cost of next best alternative sacrifice. Come on, what is opportunity cost? Write down in the chat. Cost of next best alternative sacrifice. What is it? Cost of next best alternative sacrifice. What is opportunity cost? Cost of next best alternative sacrifice. What is opportunity cost? Cost of next best alternative sacrifice. Yes. What is opportunity cost? Cost of the next best alternative sacrifice. Now let me ask you an example so that I can see whether you have understood this or not understood this. Suppose Miss Ayushi is here. Okay. Miss Ayushi is here. She has completed her chartered accountancy. Okay. Now she has decided that she will go for a job in industry or somewhere. Okay. Now pay attention. Now Miss Ayushi. Pay attention, everyone. Now Miss Ayushi had 3 job opportunities available. Job for 25 lakhs she was getting, 18 lakhs and 15 lakhs job she was getting. Miss Ayushi after completing her CA. What do you think? Which job should Miss Ayushi choose out of the 3? Obviously, sir, you all will say 25 lakh job. Okay, very good. But what is the opportunity cost? What is the sacrifice that she had to make? What is the opportunity cost here? The answer is that her opportunity cost is 18 lakhs. Why? Because if she would have not done the 25 lakh job, she would have done the 18 lakh job. So the next best alternative available was job 2, fetching 18 lakh rupees. And so 18 lakh is the opportunity cost of doing the job 1. Okay, so 18 lakh was the next best alternative here. Okay, we got it, sir. So see, in implicit cost also there is sacrifice. In opportunity cost also there is sacrifice. But there is prima facie a very big difference. So what is that difference? In implicit cost, you must own the asset and you must have sacrificed the income on that asset. Opportunity cost, in opportunity cost, no such asset ownership is important. What is important is what is the next best thing that you have sacrificed. But that's it. In the first example that I gave of implicit cost, Mr. Chintu, I believe, was the owner of the house and then he had to sacrifice the income from that house. So ownership was important in implicit cost. In opportunity cost, no such ownership is important. If you have sacrificed whatever the next best sacrifice is, that is your opportunity cost. Okay, we get it, sir. We get it, sir. That is opportunity cost. So my dear friends, I've explained all the 3. Accounting cost is the cost that results in actual outflow, also called outlay cost, right? Accounting cost is recorded in books of accounts. Economic cost is explicit cost plus implicit cost, and opportunity cost is cost of next best alternative sacrifice. Remember the cost of next best alternative sacrifice. Sir, please explain it in Hindi. Opportunity cost का मतलब होता है जो भी नेक्स्ट बेस्ट चीज था जिसको आपने सेक्रीफाइस किया. यहाँ असेट के ओनर हो या नहीं हो उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. अगर आपने सेक्रीफाइस किया है वो अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट है. जब आप लोग ये क्लास करने बैठे हैं, ठीक है, जब आप लोग ये क्लास कर रहे हैं, इस क्लास को करने की जगह शायद आप लोग अभी आराम कर रहे होते, सो रहे होते, या फिर कोई मूवी देखने गए हो, तो वो जो सेक्रीफाइस है आपका सोना टू अटेंड दिस क्लास, वो आपका अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट ऑफ डूइंग दिस क्लास. आई थिंक इट इज क्रिस्टल क्लियर फ्रेंड्स. आई होप इट्स क्रिस्टल क्लियर फ्रेंड्स. Okay. Now let's explain direct and indirect cost. Direct and indirect cost. Okay. All right. Now, my dear friends, let me give you an example. Suppose there is one brother, one sister. So let's say A is the brother, B is the sister. Okay. All right. Let's say they are approximately, one is 10 years of age, other one is 8 years of age. Okay. So they are very small now. They are very small now. Okay, got it. Now, what happens is their parents decide that they should give brother and sister one room. So both brother and sister study in this room, sleep in this room. Okay, very simple. Now what happens is that suppose the room electricity bill comes to rupees 500 rupees. Now you will tell me, can the parents identify that how much of electricity is because of A and how much electricity is because of B? Can the parents segregate or identify that? Right, sir? Right, sir. Right, sir. So now, my dear friends, what I'm telling you is that obviously your parents cannot compute, and or A and B's parents cannot compute how much of electricity they have consumed. But now let me give you another example. Okay, same brother and sister. Now let's say A studies in class 5, B studies in class 3, for example. So their parents brought them some books. Okay, A got the class 5 books, B got the class 3 books. Now, can you tell me that can the books cost be segregated? That how much books cost was incurred because of A and how much books cost was incurred because of B? Can this be estimated or can this be segregated? Can this be estimated or can this be segregated? Your answer is yes, sir. So, my dear friends, when it is possible to segregate the cost into different units of production, that's direct cost, like the books cost. But like the electricity one, you could not segregate that how much is because of A or how much is because of B. That's indirect cost. That's indirect cost. Oh, तो जब आप ये सेपरेट कर पाओ कि एक खर्चा किस प्रोडक्ट की वजह से लगा है, तब वो डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट है, क्योंकि उसे एक पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट पे दे कैन बी असाइंड, because they can be assigned to a particular product or traced to a particular product, and therefore direct costs are also called traceable cost. You can trace it to a particular product, while indirect costs are untraceable in nature. You know whatever the products are, but you cannot segregate them product wise, like in the case of electricity. Oh, this is the case. Yes, this is the case. That is direct and indirect cost. Now let me give you another example, but from a more from a business point of view. Okay, let's go at it. See, now pay attention. Okay, pay attention. Let's say there's a car manufacturing company. Okay, now this car manufacturing company has taken a factory where it's manufacturing 3 types of cars. Okay, the factory cost is, rent is 12 lakh per year. Let's say the factory cost is 12 lakh per year. Okay, now 3 types of products are being manufactured. Number 1, luxury car. Let's say luxury car. Number 2, sports car. Number 3, regular model. Number 1, luxury car. Number 2, sports car. Number 3, regular model. Okay, let's say. Now pay attention. Suppose in luxury car, one tire costs 50,000. In sports car, one tire is costing rupees 2 lakh, and in regular model, one tire is costing rupees 5,000. Okay, all right, sir. Again, they bring in some music system, where in luxury car the music system cost is 1 lakh rupees. In sports car the music system is 1,20,000, and in regular model it is 25,000. Okay. Now see, as far as this rent of the factory is concerned, you cannot segregate it between the three cars. But suppose I bring a tire worth rupees 50,000, you will automatically come to know that it is a luxury car for which this cost is incurred. Suppose I bring a music system of worth rupees, let's say 25,000, you will immediately understand that it is for the regular model. So when I am taking the name of tires, or let's say when I'm talking about the cost incurred on music system, you are able to segregate that it is for luxury car, it is for sports car. So when you are able to segregate and clearly identify, trace that the cost is incurred because of which unit, that is direct or traceable cost. But the rental income here is untraceable. You cannot trace because all the three cars are manufactured here. That is untraceable cost. That, my dear friends, is, you guessed it, you heard it correct. That, my dear friends, is untraceable or indirect cost in nature. Is that crystal clear, friends? If you confirm, then only I will begin further. Yes or no? Come on. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Very good, very good, very good. So, my dear friends, this completes our topic of direct and indirect cost as well. Direct is also called traceable cost, by the way. Okay. Right, sir. Right, sir. Okay. Now we talk about incremental and sunk cost. Incremental and sunk costs. Okay. Now pay attention, friends. Pay attention, friends. Incremental and sunk cost. Remember, incremental cost is also called additional cost. Incremental cost is also called additional cost. Okay. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. Okay. Let's see. Suppose, my dear friends, your factory has the capacity. This is your factory. It has the capacity of 10 machines. But you did not buy 10 machines. You first bought only one machine. You first purchased one machine. Why you purchased one machine? You purchased one machine. Why you purchased one machine? You purchased one machine to see whether you are able to earn profits or not. Now decided, my dear friends, that yes, we are doing good, we can buy another machine. So the additional machine that you will have to buy, that is incremental cost. That is the additional cost beyond whatever you have incurred is incremental in nature. Is incremental in nature. Any additional cost, to buy new machinery, to take a new factory, any such cost, to replace an existing machine, any such additional cost to be incurred is incremental cost. And I am quite sure you have understood this very easily. Nothing new here. Any additional cost is incremental in nature. Yes. What are sunk costs? Sunk costs are, my dear friends, irreversible costs. Irreversible costs. I will give you an example of sunk cost. Okay. Pay attention, everybody. Sunk cost is important, huh? So pay attention. I'll give you an example. Let's see. Let me give you an example here. Okay. Let me give you an example. Incremental, you understood that it is an additional cost. Nothing big there. Now let's pay attention here. Let's look at here, friends. Okay. We are talking about sunk cost. What are we talking about? Sunk cost. Okay. Let's hear it. Yes, any extra expenditure is incremental cost. Now, what is sunk cost? Sunk cost, my dear friends, is irrelevant costs, irrelevant to decision making, cannot be recovered, cannot be reversed or recovered, cannot be reversed / recovered. Can you explain us, sir? Yes, I will explain. First of all, example, advertisement costs, research and development cost, R&D cost as we call it, research and development cost. Now let me give you an example. Suppose, my dear friends, you decided that in your locality, you will open a hotel or a restaurant, let's say, restaurant or a cafe, okay? Now you are yet to decide the cuisine. Cuisine means what kind of food people in that area would like to have or in your city would like to have. So suppose you installed 3 or 4, you decided that out of this 3 or 4, you will pick something. Let's say number 1, you decided that we will put North Indian cuisine. Next, you decided you will put South Indian cuisine. Okay. There can be another cuisine, let's say Italian cuisine, or finally it could be Chinese cuisine. I have randomly given some examples. Okay. Now you are doing a research in your area that what kind of cuisine people will like to have. Will it be North Indian, South Indian, Italian, or Chinese? Now, suppose you did the R&D. Now, once you've done the R&D, it seems that South Indian, Italian, and Chinese or North Indian people like everything. They don't care what you do. So now, my dear friends, even if you decide to go for Italian, even if you decide go for Chinese or North Indian or South Indian, it doesn't matter. The advertisement cost that you have to incur or the research cost that you have to incur is already gone. Now nothing can be done. Even if you decide you don't want to do anything, that is a sunk cost. Cost that cannot be reversed, cost that cannot be recovered, that have been incurred and nothing can be done about it anymore. Whether it was beneficial or not, doesn't matter. It has already been incurred, cannot be reversed. That is sunk cost. That is sunk cost. Cost that cannot be reversed, cost that cannot be revised or reversed. In MCQ, if it comes, it will come like this. Highlight the cost which cannot be revised or reversed. So remember, it's sunk cost we are talking about. Understood or not, my dear friends? Yes, sir, we understood. Yes, sir, we understood. Okay, great. Next. Historical and replacement cost. Historical and replacement cost is what we are discussing next. Okay, let's pay attention. Suppose, my dear friends, this is a timeline. Okay, pay attention. We are discussing historical and replacement cost. Okay, see. Suppose in 2018 you acquired a machine for 5 lakh rupees. In 2018 you acquired a machine for 5 lakh rupees. Okay, in 2018 you acquired a machine for rupees 5 lakh. Okay, great, sir. Great, sir. Now. You have acquired that machine of rupees 5 lakh. All right, in 2018. When? In 2018. All right, sir. In 2018, you have acquired a machine. That is historical cost. The cost that was incurred to bring the machine, to buy a machine in the past, that is historical cost. Understood? Suppose now we have entered the year. Suppose we have entered the year 2023. Suppose. Now in 2023, if exact the same machine you want, brand new machine, it will cost you rupees 8 lakh to buy a similar machine today. In 2023, we are standing on 20th Feb 2023, right? So on 20th Feb 2023, similar machine, if you want to purchase it today, that you purchased 5 years back, it will take you 8 lakh rupees to do the same. My dear friends. That cost is called replacement cost. That cost is called replacement cost. The cost at the present that will take to replace the machine that we already had, if you want a brand new machine, that is replacement cost. Historical cost is the past cost at which you bought a particular machine in the past. That is historical cost. So let me explain it in Hindi. अगर आप किसी प्रोडक्ट को किसी दाम पे खरीदे थे 5 साल 10 साल पहले, तो जिस दाम पर खरीदे थे उसे हिस्टोरिकल कॉस्ट बोलते हैं, उसे हिस्टोरिकल कॉस्ट बोलते हैं। बट अगर आज आपको वैसा ही मशीन ब्रांड न्यू आज रिप्लेस करना है, तो आज वैसे ही मशीन का कितना खर्चा लगेगा, उसे हम लोग बोलते हैं रिप्लेसमेंट कॉस्ट, उसे हम लोग बोलते हैं रिप्लेसमेंट कॉस्ट। I hope my dear friends historical and replacement cost is clear. Yes sir, it's crystal clear. Very good. Absolutely. Very good, very good. Very good. Next is what, sir? What is next one, sir? Next, my dear friends, is private and social cost. Private cost is the one, my dear friends, which is incurred by businesses. It includes both explicit cost and implicit cost. It includes both explicit cost and implicit cost. Understood? Yes, that is private cost. Cost incurred by the firms. It can be explicit as well as implicit. So simply speaking, sir, you are saying private cost is just like economic cost. Yes, absolutely. It has to be incurred by firms. It can be explicit as well as implicit. Absolutely. Then, sir, what is social cost, sir? Now I will explain you social cost. Social cost is even bigger than economic cost. What is social cost? What is social cost? See, suppose a factory is incurring some pollution. There is some pollution because of the factory. Okay. Now, the people in the society will have diseases, and for diseases they have to get medical treatment, and for that there will be cost. So whenever a business has decided to conduct something, there is a cost that the society bears in terms of the pollution it faces. Social cost includes the cost that the society has to bear because of business, and also the cost that the businesses incur. That is the economic cost, or as you want to call it, the private cost. Acha, so social cost is the broadest cost possible. Yes, इससे बड़ा कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Let me remind you what social cost is. It includes the cost that the society has to incur because of pollution and other business activities, and also includes the business costs. That is explicit as well as implicit. So now to summarize it in Hindi, private cost के अंदर दोस्तों explicit cost भी आते हैं, implicit cost भी आते हैं. Private cost को सिर्फ इस बात से लेना देना है कि वो खर्चा बिजनेस का हो, चाहे वो explicit हो, मतलब सच में पैसे जा रहे हो, या implicit हो, सच में पैसे न जा रहे हो, बट बिजनेसेस का खर्चा होना चाहिए. That is private cost. Social cost क्या होता है दोस्तों? जब एक बिजनेस स्टार्ट होता है, उसकी वजह से पोल्यूशन जनरेट होता है. अब मेरे दोस्तों, जब वो बिजनेस की वजह से पोल्यूशन जनरेट हो रहा होता है, तो लोगों को मास्क खरीदने के लिए और या फिर डॉक्टर को अस्पताल में दिखाने के लिए खर्चे करने पड़ते हैं. ये जो खर्चे लोगों को करने पड़ रहे हैं, क्यों करने पड़ रहे हैं? ये जो खर्चे लोगों को करने पड़ रहे हैं बिजनेसेस की वजह से, सोशल कॉस्ट में वो भी इंक्लूडेड है. और साथ ही साथ में वो खर्चे जो बिजनेसेस इनकर कर रहे हैं, उसे भी हम लोग इंक्लूड करते हैं. इसे बोलते हैं सोशल कॉस्ट. इससे बड़ा कॉस्ट कोई नहीं होता. My dear friends, if it's crystal clear, write down CC in the chat. Come on, everybody, come on. You all know in the chat box, please. Fatafat. Yes, sir, we have understood this as a matter of fact. So there it is. Private and social cost also done. Done. Absolutely. Isn't it, sir? So private cost is the cost which the businesses are incurring. It is explicit cost as well as implicit cost. social cost is private cost, social cost is private cost, and addition to private cost, you are also having to incur, in addition to private cost, the cost that the society is having to incur because of the business, that is also included here. Absolutely fantastic. Clear. All right. Now, my dear friends, we discuss fixed and variable cost. Now, what is fixed and what is variable cost? Pay attention, friends. Let's segregate it, right? Let's segregate it into two: the fixed cost and the variable cost. Okay, the fixed cost and the variable cost. Okay, so let's segregate it and discuss about it. Okay, so see, fixed cost is at one place and variable cost is at the other. All right. Now, what is happening here? See, suppose staff has taken a place on some salary. Let's say the salary is rupees 6 lakhs per annum. The salary is rupees 6 lakh per annum. Okay. Now, my dear friends, this is one example. Another example I can give. Let's say there is this factory. Okay, you are in the business of chips manufacture. Okay, let's say you make some kind of chips, potato chips. Okay, now pay attention. This factory has a capacity of producing 1 lakh packets of chips. Okay, a year. 1 lakh packets of chips a year. Okay, sir. Now pay attention. 1 lakh packet of chips a year. Now, my dear friends, pay attention. The rent of this factory is, let's say, 50 lakhs per year. Rent of this factory is 50 lakhs per year. Okay, just try and understand. Rent is 50 lakhs per year. Now, what I am saying, if you are, my dear friends, making 50,000 chips, you are making 100 chips, or you are making 1 lakh chips, will it matter? No, because the rent you will have to pay the same only. That is fixed cost. That doesn't change with the output level. Fixed cost is the cost that doesn't change with the output level. I'll write it down for you. Don't worry. I'll write it down for you here. Just pay attention and listen up. Okay, I'll write it down for you. See, what is happening here is now see. My dear friends, if you have a look here, see, fixed cost. So it is the cost that doesn't change with output level. So in your factory, your rent is fixed. In your factory, the factory that you have kept, the rent is fixed. The rent is fixed. In your factory, the rent is fixed. Right? Suppose the rent is fixed at rupees, let's say 5 lakh rupees. Now, if you are keeping the factory empty, you are not doing anything, then also you will have to pay 5 lakh per annum. If you are doing a lot of things, then also you have to pay 5 lakh per annum. But see, now suppose one potato is used in making 1 chips packet. Okay, suppose 1 potato is used in making 1 chips packet. Now, cost of 1 potato is, let's say, rupees 5. So now, guys, you are telling me, if we manufacture 10 chips, how much cost is incurred for potato? You will tell me, sir, if it is 10 chips, then 10 into 5, 50 rupees. Okay, if it is 10 chips. If it is, sir, 100 chips, then you will tell me, sir, obviously it will be 100 into 5, because then you will have to buy 100 pieces of potato, so 500 rupees. So now, my dear friends, you see, in rent, what was happening? If you are, producing 1 packet of chips, 10 packets of chips, or 100 packets of chips, whatever your output level was, the rent was fixed at 5 lakh per year. That is fixed cost. But you see here, the potato that you were using in this particular finished product, as you were, buying more of these, the cost was changing accordingly. So let's say in 1 chips packet, the cost that you had to incur was 5. In 10, the cost that you had to incur was 550. In 100, the cost that you had to incur was 500. So when you're moving in this way, in this manner, here it is changing with the output level. So if one chips packet cost is different than 100 chips packet, that is variable cost. Cost that changes with the output level. वो cost जो output के साथ बदलते चला जाए, वो cost जो output के साथ बदलते चला जाए, that my dear friends is, you are right, variable cost. Fixed cost doesn't change with the output level. It remains the same throughout. Like rent example I gave you. Suppose you hire a watchman and you give him salary of 2 lakh rupees per year. So if you are storing in your factory 100 chips or 1 lakh chips, the watchman really doesn't care. You have given him 10,000 rupees a month, let's say. So that is your fixed cost. It doesn't change with output level. That just because you are not storing any chips, you will not give salary to the watchman also. It is not going to happen. So that is fixed cost. Okay. So please write down everyone. The cost that does not change with output level is called fixed cost. And the cost that changes with output level is called variable cost. The cost that doesn't change with output level is fixed cost. The cost that changes with output level is variable cost. I hope you have understood it. I am sure I'll explain it in Hindi also. देखिए दोस्तों, अगर एक फैक्ट्री को आपने 5 लाख रुपया का साल में रेंट पर लिया है, अब आप उसमें एक चिप्स बनाओ या 1 लाख चिप्स बनाओ, रेंट तो आपको 5 लाख ही देना पड़ेगा, उसे फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट कहते हैं। बट मान लीजिए एक चिप्स को बनाने के लिए 1 आलू लगता है, तो 100 चिप्स को बनाने के लिए 100 आलू लगेगा, इसको बोलते हैं हम लोग वेरिएबल कॉस्ट, आलू के खर्चे को, क्योंकि ये फाइनल प्रोडक्ट यानी कि चिप्स के अनुसार बदल रहा है। दैट माय डियर फ्रेंड्स इज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट। आई होप इट्स क्रिस्टल क्लियर फ्रेंड्स। Yes, sir, it seems all right. Everybody seems to be in all right position. Right, sir? All right. Sir. Now I will explain you one thing which is called cost function. We have already done a lot of functions, production functions, right? Demand function, supply function. Now we are on to cost function. Okay, got it, sir. Got it. So see. What is cost function? It's the relationship between cost and factors affecting cost or output, as you can say. So what is cost function, everybody in the chat? Relationship between cost and the factors affecting the cost. Relation between cost and factors affecting the cost. Relation between cost and factors affecting cost. So जिन भी चीजों की वजह से cost बदल रहा है, for whatever reasons the cost is changing, all those factors form a part of cost function. So here we study a relationship between, here we study cost function is nothing but a relationship. It's like a between who and who, between the cost incurred and the factors affecting the cost incurred. The cost incurred and the factors affecting the cost incurred. That, my dear friends, is called cost function. Relationship between the cost incurred and the factors affecting the cost incurred. I hope it's crystal clear. Yes, sir. Before I move any further, let's take some test on MCQ of yours. Okay, so that I can understand whether you are understanding or not. All right. Now pay attention. See, listen up. First question. What is the functional relationship between cost and output called? Production function, revenue function, cost function, or don't know? Yes, absolutely. Between cost and output will be cost function. Very easy, sir, obviously. What is the cost that depends on output level? Is it fixed cost? Is it variable cost? Is it supplementary cost? Or is it all of the above? My dear friends. The cost that depends on output level. That depends on output level. That depends on output level. You all are correct. Cost that depends on output level is called variable cost. We discussed it right now. For example, raw material is a variable. So when you produce more finished goods, you buy more raw materials, so more the cost. So whenever a cost is changing with the finished product, that is variable cost. जब भी कोई खर्च जब भी कोई खर्च आउटपुट के साथ बदलते चला जाए उस खर्च को हम लोग वेरिएबल कॉस्ट बोलते हैं. Got it, sir. Got it. So, sir, you are saying that depends on output level is the variable cost. Yes, absolutely. Moving on. Salary is a fixed cost. First question. B, or an accounting cost. C, it is both, or D, it is none. What say, friends? Which one? So C, yes, salary is a fixed cost because it doesn't change with output level, and accounting cost is also a salary is also an accounting cost. Why? Because salary is charged in the books of accounts. In the PL account, debit side you charge, and therefore it is also accounting cost. So the answer will be both. The answer will be both A and B. The answer will be both A and B. Yes, both A and B. Because it is accounting as well as fixed. Why it is fixed, sir? Because it doesn't change with the output level. If somebody is getting a salary of 50,000 per month, let's say, just because you know that more output factory is producing doesn't mean that their salary is changing, isn't it? That's the logic. Now, my dear friends, we further come down to the very important part of cost. I would say the most important part of this chapter. Are we ready, guys? Are we ready? Come on, everybody. Please confirm that we are ready so that we can go ahead. Come on, friends. Please confirm you are ready so that we can attack. Absolutely, sir. Yes, sir. Got it. Let's go. So now, my dear friends, the cost can be segregated into two parts. Number one is the short run. Number two is the long run cost. Number one is the short run cost. Number two is the long run cost. Number one is the short run cost. Number two is the long run cost. You know why? Because in production there were two time periods, short run period and long run period. And so the costs are also two, short run and long run. In short run, you remember how many factors of production did we have? Two kinds of fixed and variable. In the short run, I hope you all remember. And in the long run, all the factors of production were variable. In the short run, there were fixed and variable factors, but in the long run, all the factors of production were, yes, variable. So, my dear friends, if in the short run there are two types of factors of production, so costs are also two, variable cost and fixed cost. In the long run, since everything is variable, so everything is variable cost in the long run. I hope it's crystal clear, friends. Yes, sir. So let's answer this MCQ then. See, answer me this question. In long run, what cost is incurred? Fixed cost, variable cost, both or none? What say, guys? What is the answer to this MCQ? In long run, what cost is incurred? Absolutely. In the long run, we are talking long run. In long run, only variable cost is incurred now. In short run, it's both fixed and variable. In long run, so all the costs are called variable only now. Why is there something called fixed cost? Nothing. In short run, there is fixed cost. So the answer is variable cost. Absolutely. The answer is variable cost. We are talking about long run. I hope it's crystal clear, friends. All right, sir. We are crystal clear with this one. Great. Now let's talk about the shape of different cost blocks. Okay. Let's talk about number one of them. Let's talk about the number one of them. So shall we? Yes, absolutely. We can. Pay attention, friends. See. Suppose the quantity level is changing. Quantity is 1, then it became 2, then it became 3, then it became 4. But total fixed cost curve we are drawing. It means we are in what time period? We are in short run. Remember, in short run, what law is applicable? In short run, law of variable proportion is applicable. Now pay attention here. If we are in short run, suppose total fixed cost is, let's say total fixed cost here is the rent of a godown. Okay, so if it is fixed at, let's say 5,000 rupees, suppose for example, now if you are producing 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit or 4 unit, is it material? No. So even if you produce 1 unit, the cost will be this. Even if you produce nothing, then also the cost will be 5,000 only. Again 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. So if you join this graph, automatically you will get a line which is straight and parallel to x-axis. So you are getting an horizontal line. What you are getting is an horizontal line parallel to x-axis. Horizontal line parallel to x-axis. You are getting a horizontal line parallel to x-axis. Understood, friends? You are getting a horizontal line parallel to x-axis. Yes, sir, we understood. Yes, sir, we understood that. You are getting a horizontal line parallel to x-axis. Absolutely, sir, we get it. That's why we call it TFC is parallel to the x-axis. Achha, one more question students ask me that, sir, why is it that it is starting from here? That is from the y-axis. Because this is y-axis, this is called x-axis in maths. So you will answer the teacher that, see, even if zero quantity is produced, then also fixed cost is incurred. Arey Baba, even if you are not producing anything in your factory, will the landlord tell you not to give rent? Obviously, still आपको rent देना पड़ेगा, still you will have to pay rent. अगर आप गोडाउन में कुछ नहीं कर रहे हो, कुछ नहीं रख रहे हो, कोई प्रोडक्शन नहीं कर रहे हो, और आप फैक्ट्री लेकर बैठे हुए हो, तब भी आपको रेंट तो उतना ही देना पड़ेगा. इसीलिए total fixed cost starts from y-axis. Starts from y-axis. And since it doesn't change with output level, it's a horizontal curve parallel to x-axis. I hope it's crystal clear, everybody. I'll move forward on your confirmation, everyone. Yes, sir. Absolutely. So, sir, can you explain again? Yes. In Hindi? Yes. Total fixed cost मतलब वो खर्च जो आउटपुट के साथ ना बदले. तो अगर आपने एक गोडाउन ले रखा है रेंट पर, 6 लाख रुपए ईयर का लगता है आपका, तो आप उस गोडाउन में 1,000 सामान रखिए या 2,000, गोडाउन का रेंट चेंज हो जाएगा क्या? क्योंकि आपने तो पूरा ले रखा है. यस सर, ये बात तो सही है. दिस इज कॉल्ड फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट. इसे कहते हैं फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट. अब क्योंकि ये आउटपुट के अनुसार बदल ही नहीं रहा है, तो ये एक फिक्स्ड लाइन होता है जो कि एक्स एक्सिस से पैरेलल चले जाता है. गॉट इट? Got it. So this is the question. Where does TFC start in short run? From y-axis. You see, this is y-axis. It is starting from here only, na? You see, it is starting from here only. I'll highlight further for you this one. Pay attention. This one. Isn't it, friends? Yes. Why it's starting from y-axis? Because even if nothing is produced, total fixed cost is still incurred. And hence the graph starts from that point itself. And hence the graph starts from that point itself. I hope you get it. Yes. Now I have a question. The question is very simple. Cost which is not zero at zero output level. So the cost that is still incurred even if nothing is produced, even at zero output level. What is it called? Is it called fixed cost, variable cost, both or none? What say, friends? Which one? Yes, you are absolutely correct. That which is zero at zero output level is total fixed cost. As I have told, I'll repeat again, even if you are not using the facility, if you have kept it with yourself, then also you are bound to pay the rent, no matter what. Got it. Got it. Got it. Now, sir, can you explain what TVC is? Yes, I will explain. Remember which time period we are talking about? Short run. Arey Baba, if there was no short run, then we would not have talked about total fixed cost because there would be none. There would be no total fixed cost then. Okay, let's move on. Now, my dear friends, let me tell you something. So this is units of output 0 to 4. This is total fixed cost, 100. Now suppose the raw material cost. Raw material is a variable cost because it changes with the output. So cost per raw material is, let's say, rupees 50 per raw material. So if you produce nothing, no total variable cost is incurred. But if you produce one packet, you will have to buy one raw material at 50 rupees. Okay. If you produce two packets, you will have to buy two raw materials at rupees 100. If you buy three, then 3 into 50 gives you 150. So see, total variable cost is increasing with the increase in output or changing with the change in output. Yes, sir. Now what is total cost? Total cost is TFC plus TVC. So in short run, total cost is total fixed cost plus total variable cost. That gives you the total cost. In short run, I am talking about. In short run, total cost is given by total fixed cost and total variable cost. So if you add them up, 100 plus 0 is giving you 100. 100 plus 50 is giving you 150. 100 plus 100 is 200 and 100 plus 150 is 250. So my dear friends, that's total cost. That's total cost. So my dear friends, once you have got the total cost, that is what I'm trying to tell you, that once you have got the total cost, please remember one thing. Please remember one thing, that total cost can never be zero in short run. Why? Because total cost is TFC plus TVC. And since TFC is never zero, so minimum total cost will always be equal to total fixed cost. For example, if total cost is TFC plus TVC, if you want to make TFC, TVC 0, then also TFC will be incurred. And so TC equals to TFC when at 0 units of output. So write it down, everybody. When nothing is produced at 0 units, obviously at 0 units, there will be no total variable cost because there is no raw material. But what is total cost? Total cost equals to TVC plus TFC equals to 0 plus TFC equals to TFC. So total cost equals to total fixed cost. My dear friends, I hope it's crystal clear. Yes or no, please. So at 0 units, TVC is 0. And this is how you go about it. Friends, is that crystal clear? Come on, guys. Is that crystal clear? Come on, guys. Yes, sir, you are correct. Yes, sir, you are correct. So therefore, even at 0 level, TC equals to TFC. Now moving on. Moving on. Let's talk about the shape of total variable cost first. Let's talk about the shape of total variable cost first. Yes, sir, please go ahead. Please go ahead. My dear friends, if the cost per unit is constant like this, you see here, then the curve will be like this. Total variable cost will be just be upward sloping. Right? It will just be upward sloping. I'll repeat it for you. I will repeat it for you. Don't worry. So if, pay attention, I'll draw it for you here. See, let's discuss this now. Have a look here, friends. If you friends have a look here, what are you observing? See, TC is TFC plus TVC. Now you have realized that the shape of TFC curve is like this. But if variable cost price is constant now, then the TVC curve looks like this. Hypothetically speaking, it looks like this. Because as output is rising from 1, 2, 3, etc., then your expense is also rising. And so total variable cost is also somehow rising. To give you the final graph or the exact graph, here is the ultimate graph. Pay attention, everybody. Now, a very good thing, a very important thing to learn. Please pay attention, the most important part of all. See, pay attention. Look at all the three curves. Very, very important. Look at all the three curves. Yes. Okay, go ahead. So my dear friends, this is total fixed cost. This is total fixed cost. Okay, got it. Now you remember, how many of you remember the diagram and I told you to revise of total product under the law of variable proportion? Yes, sir, we remember this now. We remember this. It was, sir, like a S-shaped curve, isn't it? TVC is inverse S. You know why? Because just like the behavior of production, same is the behavior of cost. If in production, output is increasing at increasing rate, cost will increase at diminishing rate. So here the cost curve is taking inverse shape. And when it is going up outside, it's going inside that rate. And therefore TVC is inverse S. Remember, if somebody asks you what is the shape of TVC, it is inverse S. They may ask you why. So the answer will be law of variable proportion. Why is TVC inverse S? Due to law of variable proportion. Because when production output is increasing at increasing rate like this, cost is increasing at diminishing rate like this. Got it? I believe all of you got it. Yes. Remember this. 2 questions from MCQ can come. I am teaching you both. Number 1, what is the actual shape of TVC? It is inverse S. Next question could be why? Answer is law of variable proportion. So all of you write down in the chat. TVC is inverse shaped due to law of variable proportion. Write down in the chat, then only I will progress. Otherwise, I will not progress further. Write it down. TVC is inverse shaped. TVC is inverse shaped due to law of variable proportion. Everybody, write it down right now. Okay, sir, we got it. Sir, TVC is inverse S because of law of variable proportion. Okay, sir, we have written it. All right, now see, all of you remember that at 0 level, even if nothing is happening, normally TC is TFC plus TVC, okay? But now, even if nothing is being produced, TFC is 0. So when TFC becomes equals to 0, TC equals to TVC, TC equals to TVC, TC equals to TVC, TC equals to TVC. At 0 level of output, at 0 level of output, at 0 level of output, TC is equals to TVC. Correct. Now, since TC equals to TVC, I mean, since TVC is 0, so TC equals to TFC, right? And so you see TC and TFC start from the same point. Because I told you TC cannot be 0. Why? Because TFC cannot be 0. Because TFC cannot be 0. Acha, we got it. Now pay attention, friends. See, you can see the shape of TVC. So the shape of TC is also like the shape of TVC. Why, sir? Because TFC is constant. So whatever change is taking place in TC is because of whom? Is because of TVC. Sir, we did not understand. Let me show you a simple table. It will make things clearer to you. Pay attention. Look at this table now. Suppose this is the quantity level, okay? 0 quantity, 1 quantity, 2 quantity, 3 quantity, okay? Now total fixed cost is as usual fixed at 100 rupees. All right? Yes, sir. Now total variable cost at 0 units will be 0, 50, 100, 150. Yes, sir. Now let's compute total cost, which is TFC plus TVC. Okay. Now, if you add them, it is giving you 100. It's giving you 150. It's giving you 200. It's giving you 250. Now you see, when you begin the picture, TFC is equals to TC at 0 units. Can you see this? Yes, we can see this. But look at TVC, how TVC is changing. Just like that, you know, see here TVC has increased by 50, so TC has increased by 50. Here TVC has increased by 50, again TC has increased by 50. Here TVC has increased by 50, again TC has increased by 50. So my dear friends, if TC is changing the same way, if TC is changing the Same way, so the shape of TC is much like TVC. So when it starts, TC is starting from the same point as TFC. But whose shape does it take? TC is taking whose shape? You guessed it right. You guessed it right. TC is taking. TC is taking. TC is taking the shape of TVC. TC is taking the shape of TVC. TC is taking the shape of TVC. Yes, TC is taking the shape of TVC because it's changing the way like TVC. Got it? And so, my dear friends, let me ask you one important question. I think you will be able to answer. Let me ask you this very simple question. The question is, what is the shape of TC curve? What is the shape of TC curve? You have to tell the name of the shape. Yes, the shape of TC curve is also in the short run, as we call it, inverse S. Why? Because it is changing just like, yes, it is changing just like TVC. And so it's changing just like TVC. Since it's changing just like TVC, so it's TVC is inverse S. So TC curve is also inverse S. Only difference is that TVC starts from 0 and TC starts from y-axis. Because at 0 level, TC equals to TFC. Absolutely, very good. Very good. Very good. Now, my dear friends, we're discussing another case which we call as, pay attention everyone, which we call as stair-step variable cost. Stair-step variable cost. Interesting, isn't it? The name is pretty interesting. Stair-step variable cost or stair-step cost. Stair-step cost or stair-step variable cost. Shall we? Yes. First of all, look at the shape. This is how the shapes look like. First, you look at the shape. Learn the shape and then we talk further. Learn the shape. Now we discuss why it is stair-step. It means it is fixed at some level, then it becomes variable. Again, it is fixed for some level, again it becomes variable. Sir, can you explain? Yes, for sure. Suppose, my dear friends, you have a warehouse. You have a warehouse. Okay, you have a warehouse. Warehouse is divided into 4 parts, as you can see in the diagram in your given page. A, B, C, D. Okay, so there are 4 particular rooms in this warehouse. Now, each room requires a single bodyguard. So, if let's say the product is kept in one room, there will be one bodyguard. If the product is, let's say, kept in second room, then there will be 2 bodyguards in 1 and 2. If the product is kept in third room also, 3 bodyguards, and in the fourth room, 4 bodyguards. Now see, and each room can store about 1000 units. Now see, in the interesting case, between 0 and 1000, suppose you are storing 500 units, or suppose you are storing 600 units, 800 units or 900 units, till 1000 units, whatever you store, you will have to keep only one bodyguard. Let's say one bodyguard or one watchman. One watch person has the security of 10,000 rupees. One watchman has a security of has a salary of, let's say, 10,000 rupees. Now, since the product is only 500 or 600 or up to 1000, so the cost is 10,000 rupees for a watchman. Why? Because it doesn't matter, you have to keep only in one room, because one room can store 1000. Now, let's say you need 1100 products. So you will keep 1000 here, the rest 100 you will keep in room B. So between 1001 and 2000, whatever units you store, you will have to hire a second watchman. So within this level, the cost will remain constant at 20,000 rupees, because now 2 watchmen are doing the job. Again, pay attention. Now pay attention, friends. Again, you hire another watchman when you have to install or keep a commodity range anywhere between 2000 to 3000 units. So suppose you are keeping 2200 units. Even if you are keeping 2200 units, my dear friends, you need that third watchman. So between 2000 and 3000, whatever you store, you will have to spend 30,000. So it is fixed at this level. But as you move down, it will become variable. Because as you get more than 3000, again your cost will increase. So it is fixed in an interval, but varies on other interval. And so it's called stair step. You see, here from 0 to 1000, the cost was constant. But as soon as you came to 1001, the cost rose up a little. Again, it became constant till 2000. Again, it rose a little. Again, it became cost. Again, it became constant. Again, it rose. Again, it became constant. Again, rose and again became constant. So to some extent, it was variable, and to a large extent, it was fixed. And hence, stair-step variable cost, as you would like to call it. Stair-step variable cost, as you would like to call it. That's absolutely correct. My dear friends, is this one crystal clear? A very good one and a very important one indeed. If this is clear, then I'll tell you what semi-variable cost is. If this is clear, then I'll tell you what the next one is. Come on, friends. Semi-variable cost. Let's talk about semi-variable cost. Shall we, once you are ready? Okay. Okay. All right. So it's clear. So what is semi-stair-step variable cost or stair-step cost? It is fixed within a particular interval and then it varies. So between 0 to 1000 units, when you were keeping in your godown, it was fixed. But when you kept more than that, it became variable. Sir, I will explain, I will summarize this entire thing in Hindi once. देखिए, stair step variable cost में होता क्या है? मान लीजिए आपके पास एक वेयरहाउस है जिसमें 4 कमरे हैं. अब हर कमरे के लिए एक वॉच पर्सन चाहिए होता है, वॉचमैन चाहिए होता है. अब आप समझने की कोशिश कीजिए. अब अगर हर कमरे के लिए आप लोगों को एक वॉचमैन का दरकार होता है, और अब मान लीजिए कि एक वॉच पर्सन का सैलरी 10,000 रुपीज पर मंथ. कितना है? 10,000 रुपीज पर मंथ है. हर वॉचमैन का सैलरी 10,000 पर मंथ है, और हर रूम में आप 1000 यूनिट्स रख सकते हो. ठीक है. अब देखिए, अब आप 500 यूनिट रखिए या 600 यूनिट रखिए, आपको तो एक ही वॉचमैन लगाना होगा. तो आपका देखिए कॉस्ट 10,000 पे फिक्स हो गया. कब? जब आप 500 से 600 यूनिट्स में डील कर रहे हैं. बट जैसे ही आप 1100 में जाएंगे या 1000 को क्रॉस करेंगे, आपको 2 वॉचमैन लगेगा, क्योंकि 2 रूम्स हो जाएंगे यूज. तो 20,000. अब आप देखिए, अब 1001 से 2000 तक में आप कितना ही 1001 से 2000 तक में आप कितना ही यूज कर लीजिए, आपका कॉस्ट तो इस रेंज में कांस्टेंट हो गया ना. आपका कॉस्ट तो इस रेंज में कांस्टेंट हो गया ना. यस सर, दैट्स व्हाट इट इज. अब देखिए, अब मान लीजिए 2000 से ज्यादा यूनिट्स आपको स्टोर करने हैं, 2010 यूनिट स्टोर करने हैं. अब आपको तीसरा रूम लगेगा, तो 3 वॉचमैन. अब 2000 से 3000 में कितना ही स्टोर कर लो, कॉस्ट आपका 3 वॉचमैन का 30,000 ही लगना है. That is why we call it stair-step variable cost. Now moving on to semi-variable cost. What is semi-variable cost? A very simple example. A very simple example. Okay, let's see. Guys, you will tell me, have you sat in a taxi anytime? It can be any taxi locally available. Okay. Now, if you sit in a taxi, what will happen? As soon as you sit, there is a fixed fare, let's say 30 rupees. So as soon as you sit, 30 is fixed, you will have to pay that. But now, more kilometers you cover, more the cost increases. More the kilometers you cover, yes, more the kilometers you cover, more the cost you will incur. More the kilometers you cover, more the cost you will incur. That is called semi-variable cost. The cost that is primarily fixed, initially fixed, that is this 30 rupees portion is fixed, but beyond this 30 rupees portion is variable. Oh, yes, that is semi-variable cost. That is semi-variable cost. Sir, we understood this. We understood it. Or I will also tell you, there is some kind of thali system. In Bikaram, Haldiram, if you go, or in any of your local restaurant, there is some kind of thali system. What happens in this thali system is, suppose you pay 200 rupees in this thali system. In this 200 rupees, let's say you will get 3 chapati. Let's say, for example, you will get 3 chapati, right? 2 vegetables, and let's say 1 dessert. Okay, you get this. Now suppose you need another chapati. So for all this, 200 is the fixed cost. But if you need another chapati, for every extra chapati that you buy, you will have to pay additional 20 rupees. This is also semi-variable, that it is fixed, that in order to enter this particular menu or to buy this thali, minimum 200 you have to pay, where you get all this. But if you want more, every additional chapati or every additional dessert that you buy, the cost will rise unit wise, and that's semi-variable cost. I hope it's crystal clear. I've explained it crystal clear. Yes or no? Yes or no? I've explained it crystal clear. Yes, sir. Got it, sir. It is very easy, I think. Matlab, nothing very tough, I think. Right? And so the shape is much like this one. The shape is much like this one. Okay? Got it. Got it, sir. Got it, sir. All right. Now let's go about this. Here it is. The shape of semi-variable cost. Just a moment. Yes. It's like this. Semi-variable cost. Yes, sir. We are able to see it. Here is the graph for it. This is the fixed element. It is in institute's material, and we have taken it from there only. It is in institute's material. This is the fixed element, and this is the variable component element. Oh, sir, we got it, sir. Yes, that's semi-variable cost. Now, before we discuss any further, remember one more thing. Remember one more thing. Now we are discussing the concept of averages. What are we discussing now? Sir, now I am teaching you the concept of averages. Okay, I believe all of you shall be ready for it. Okay, the concept of averages. What does it say? All right, let's go about it here. Okay, so we are discussing the concept of averages. Average is nothing but total by quantity. What is average? Nothing but total divided by quantity. What is average? Nothing but total divided by quantity. What is average? Nothing but total divided by quantity. Okay, sir. So average is total divided by quantity, right, sir? Yes, friends. That is it. That is what average is all about. Total divided by quantity. So suppose I have to write average fixed cost. What is average fixed cost going to be? It will be equal to total fixed cost divided by quantity. Okay, sir, we get it. So what is average fixed cost going to be? It will be total fixed cost divided by quantity. Okay, we get it, sir. Total fixed cost divided by quantity. That is what basically average fixed cost is. Similarly, if you want average variable cost, what is it? Total variable cost divided by quantity. Suppose you want average cost, it is total cost divided by quantity. So whenever you divide it by quantity, you get average. Whenever you divide the data via quantity, you get average. You get what? Yes, sir, you get average. We understood this much. We understood this much. So here you see, here if you see clearly, you will find out what I am talking about. You will discover what I am talking about. If you notice here, please pay attention. See, quantity is all this stuff, all right. Total fixed cost is this. Now, as soon as you see the total fixed cost, you see, look at the average fixed cost column. Can you see it? Yes, sir, we are able to see it. So if total fixed cost is 100, average fixed cost is 100 by 0, which is nothing, which will give you nothing. This will give you nothing. But when quantity is 1, total fixed cost is 100. So 100 by 1 is 100. Again, when quantity is 2, total fixed cost is 100. So 100 by, because total fixed cost is not going to change. So 100 by 2 is going to give you again 50. Then when you are dealing with 3 quantity, 100 by 3 is going to give you 33.3. Similarly, when you are dealing with 4, 100 by 4 is going to give you 25. Yes or no? That is average fixed cost. My question to you is, can all of you think, apply some common sense and tell me one answer. Can AFC be equal to 0? Can AFC be equal to 0? What say? I need each one of you to answer this question to me. Can AFC be equal to 0? Can AFC be equal to 0? Come on, friends, what say? What do you think? Apply your sense. No, you are correct. AFC can never be equal to 0. Yes, you people are correct. AFC can never be equal to 0. Why, sir? Why so, sir? My dear friends, for a very simple reason. Why AFC can never be 0 is for a very simple reason. Sir, would you tell us? Absolutely. The reason AFC can't be 0, pay attention, friends. The reason AFC cannot be 0 is because what is AFC? Think of the formula. Think of the formula of AFC. Think of the formula of AFC. AFC is TFC by Q. Arey Baba, for AFC to become 0, TFC has to be 0. Only when the numerator is 0, then the 0 by anything becomes 0, right? Oh, that's right, sir. And since TFC can never be 0, AFC can never be 0. Everybody write it down in the chat as well as in your note copies. Since TFC can never be 0, AFC can never be 0. Since TFC can never be 0, AFC can never be 0. Since TFC can never be 0, AFC can never be 0. Come on, everybody, write it down in your chat box, please. Absolutely, sir. TFC in the beginning is also 100 only. TFC means like a rent. So if you are not storing any product in the godown, still you have to pay the rent. TFC is never 0. And AFC is TFC by quantity. So even if you do 100 by 0, it will become infinity. 100 by 0 is not 0. So AFC is constantly falling, as you can see here. AFC is constantly falling, as you can see here. So my dear friends, can you see that AFC is constantly falling? Yes. So this is the shape of AFC curve. You look here. This is the shape of AFC curve. Look here. I am using blue line, okay? Just look at the blue line, okay? Not anything. Can you see it? The blue colored line? That is AFC. The blue colored line that you see, that is AFC. You know what this shape is called? The shape of AFC curve. You know what is it called? What is it called? It's called rectangular hyperbola. So if in exam you get what is the shape of average fixed cost? Remember I told average fixed cost, not total fixed cost. So the shape of average fixed cost is rectangular hyperbola. Rectangular hyperbola. Remember, the shape of average fixed cost is rectangular hyperbola. The shape of average fixed cost is rectangular hyperbola. I hope it's crystal clear, friends. The shape of average fixed cost is rectangular hyperbola. Correct. Correct. Because AFC is constantly falling. Okay, right. Got it, sir. All right. Sir, can you tell us now after AFC, how is marginal cost computed? Again, we have heard the word marginal. Remember, my dear friends, I have told you time and again, marginal is very simple. Marginal is the change in total cost due to one additional quantity produced. Remember, we have done this marginal. It is change in total due to one additional unit. Here output produced. So for example, if for 1 unit, your total cost is 150 and for 2 units, it is 200. Then by how much has your cost changed because of the second unit? Sir, by 50 rupees. So 50 rupees is the marginal cost. 50 rupees is the marginal cost. So sir, I will give you two formulas of marginal cost. Formula number one of marginal cost is, yes, you people already heard it or learned it, that it is total cost minus total cost of n minus 1. But why does total cost change? Total cost changes because of total variable cost. And so you can also write marginal cost equals to change in total variable cost. Change in total variable cost. Marginal cost also represents change in total variable cost. Marginal cost also represents change in total variable cost. Yes, sir. Marginal cost also represents, my dear friends, change in total variable cost. Total variable cost. Not only total cost, but also total variable cost. Because after all, total cost is changing only because of total variable cost. That's it. That's the logic I wanted to teach. Remember one more thing, guys. AC and ABC are U-shaped. Very, very, very important. AC and ABC curve are U-shaped. Super, super, super duper important. All these three. Remember these three trio. AC, ABC and MC. All these are U-shaped curves. Why? Again, remember the answer from objective point of view because of law of variable proportion. Why? Again, remember from the objective point of view because of law of variable proportion. Because of law of variable proportion. So AC, ABC, MC all are U-shaped because of law of variable proportion. Is that so, sir? Remember, AFC is a rectangular hyperbola. AFC is a rectangular hyperbola. Don't call it to be U-shaped. AC, ABC, MC are U-shaped due to law of variable proportion. Yes, sir, we got this. So in exam, this can be a question. The question can be, why is AC curve U-shaped? Why is average cost curve U-shaped? It can be a question. So if they give you, the answer should be because of law of variable proportion. Why is ABC U-shaped? Law of variable proportion. Why is marginal cost curve U-shaped? Law of variable proportion. Remember this, remember this, remember this. AC, ABC, MCR or U-shaped due to law of variable proportion. Write down in the chat, everybody, I'm waiting, and write it in with your notes also. AC, ABC and MC all are U-shaped due to law of variable proportion. That's why I told you, production and cost are very interdependable. And so, interrelated, and hence we must know the one to get the other. All right. Now let's talk about it. So here is the shape summary. So the shape summary is ABC, AC and MC. ABC, AC and MC. ABC, AC and MC are all U-shaped. ABC, AC and MC are all U-shaped. What shape? U-shaped. What shape? U-shaped. Why? Because of law of variable proportion. Why? Because of law of variable proportion. Due to law of variable proportion. And what is the shape of AFC? AFC shape is rectangular hyperbola. AFC shape is rectangular hyperbola. So ABC, AC and MC are all U-shaped due to law of variable proportion, and AFC shape is rectangular hyperbola. Got it? Now. My question that often you will get in your exam is, how are AC and MC related? So please see, look at this particular picture. You see MC striking AC from the bottom. And where does MC meet AC? At the minimum point of AC. You see here, MC is equals to AC where? At minimum point of AC. At AC's minimum point. MC meets AC at the minimum point of AC. MC meets AC at the minimum point of AC. Acha, is that so, sir? Yes, friends, that is so. So MC meets AC at the minimum point of AC. Got it, sir? Yes, friends, got it. Remember, there is this fault taking place. Why is this fault taking place? U-shape reason. Now pay attention. First, you see, when MC is less than AC, you see here, guys. When MC is less than AC, that is MC is below AC, MC is falling, MC is below AC, then AC is falling. See, when MC is below AC, AC is constantly falling. When MC equals to AC, AC is at its minimum. And when MC exceeds AC, AC starts rising again. AC starts rising again. AC starts rising again. So how do you remember this? How do you remember this? I will explain you a technique to learn this. Remember, this is just a technique to learn this. Huh? Don't be overflown by emotion. Don't be overflown by emotions. So listen carefully. Listen carefully, I'm explaining. Okay? Yes. Go ahead. Pay attention, everyone. Pay attention, everyone. Yes, sir, please tell. You are going down and then you are going up from here. AC curve is obviously U-shaped. Obviously, sir. Now pay attention, my dear friends. The way to learn this is, remember, MC. M starts from marginal cost and M is also meaning motivational speaker. Okay, M means motivational speaker. Let's take M is to be a motivational speaker and A is any ordinary person. So this A person was very sad and he was going down in the life. So when A was in the saddest point in the life, that is the lowest point, when A was at the lowest point, then this motivational speaker came and met A and motivated A to do better in life. Then what happened? Obviously, motivational speaker was doing well, but after listening to this speech, A also got motivated and started rising in his or her career. I know it is a very stupid way to learn, but it helps in learning the relationship between the two. Right? So now the relationship between the two is very simple. That M is the motivational speaker, A is an ordinary person. Ordinary person falling down and reaching the bottom point. Motivational speaker coming and meeting at the bottom point, motivating the ordinary person. Now ordinary person going up, motivational speaker also going up in life. I think all of you have learned this. I know the technique was not good enough, but you must have learned it. Now this is AC and MC. Similarly, same logic or same relationship applies to AVC and MC as well. Just instead of AC, you put AVC. Same logic applies there also. Instead of AC, if you put AVC, the same logic applies there also. Is that so, sir? Yes. Absolutely. Got it. Got it, sir. Got it, sir. So please remember this. Please remember this. Now pay attention, please. Now pay attention, friends. Pay attention, please. Once you have understood this, same logic goes for AC and AVC and MC. Again, AVC is another person. Marginal cost meets AVC at the minimum point, motivates. Now AVC also grows and MC also goes up. Same logic. Same logic, sir. Yes, sir, we have understood that. So, my dear friends, why not ask you a couple of questions? Again, some MCQs I must ask you. All right. I hope you are ready for the same. Let's see. The shape of, read the question carefully before answering. Shape of TVC curve is A. Inverse S, B, S, C, U-shaped, D, none of above. What is the shape of TVC curve? Shape of TVC curve. TVC curve, TVC curve. Come on. Okay. So now, my dear friends, the shape of, please pay attention, everyone. The shape of TVC curve is absolutely correct. Inverse S. Very good. Very good. Very good. Next question. I will not give you options here. What is the shape of AFC curve? What is the shape of AFC curve? I will not give you any option. Try to answer it without any option. Remember, TVC curve is inverse S. U shape is average variable cost. T stands for total, A stands for average. That's why I gave you this question. Many students write U shape. It is AVC which is U shape. TVC is inverse S shape. TVC is inverse S shape. It is AVC which is U shape. Okay. Now come on. What is the shape of AFC curve? AFC, AFC, AFC. Wow. As I can see, some very good answers and correct answers, in fact. It's called rectangular hyperbola. Rectangular hyperbola. Rectangular hyperbola. Next question, let's try it out. Let's try it out. Pay attention, guys. Pay attention, guys. Come on, everyone. Are you ready? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Question. The question is very simple. Question is very simple. Pay attention and answer this question. Answer this question. This is the quantity. This is the TFC. This is the TVC. This is the TC. Okay. So you have been told 100. Nothing applicable, and here a dash sign. A dash sign. A dash sign. Okay. Now, marginal cost. Here there is a dash sign. A dash sign. Come on, everybody. Come on, everybody. Tell me the answer, everybody. Wherever I have put dash, you will have to fill that blank up. Where I have put dash, you will have to fill that blank up. Now see, total fixed cost is constant always. So it has to be 100 here also. It has to be 100 here also. Now at TVC 0, at 0 units. So TC equals to 100. Marginal cost, nothing. Obviously. Now 100 and 50 together make up 150. So what is the change in total cost? It has increased by 50 rupees. So marginal cost is 50. For the first unit, marginal cost is 50. Remember, there is no marginal cost at 0 level. Okay, remember. Now, TVC plus TFC is giving you 170. So from 150, it's changing to 170. By how much is it rising? By how much is it rising? So it's rising by 20. It's rising by 20. And therefore, your answer of marginal cost here is 20. I hope all of you got this. I hope all of you got this. Okay. One more question. AC meets MC at its A, maximum point, B, minimum point, C, both, D, none. Come on, answer this one, friends. AC meet MC where? Remember this motivational speaker line, okay? That technique is going to really help you see so many correct answers. Absolutely. So my dear friends, AC meets MC at its, yes, you get it correct, minimum point. That is the correct answer. That is the correct answer. All right. Let me ask you the next question. Let me ask you the next question. What is the shape of marginal cost curve? Tell me the answer. No options. I'm not giving you any options now. Wow. U-shape. Guys, so remember, MC, AC, and AVC all are U-shaped. AFC is rectangular hyperbola. AFC is rectangular hyperbola. Then you have TC and you have TVC, both of which are inverse S shape. Both of which are inverse S shape. Okay. So my dear friends, I hope all of you have understood this thing. Next day, we will solve a lot many questions, many MCQs, right, from cost, and we'll complete whatever is left of this topic. Hardly anything is left. A few topics like economies of scale, diseconomies is left, and log run concept is left, which is, matter of only 30 or 40 minutes, and then we'll focus further. So see you all in the next class. Goodbye, everyone. Tata for the day. Bye bye. Thank you.